Hello and welcome to this edition of Diaspora Central Spotlight. I am Gil Ingles, and with me, ladies and gentlemen, today right here in the studios, in our facilities, yes, in the facilities, in the building, it's royalty, the royalty of cinema, Houston's film scene, King, Director King. Welcome to Diaspora Central, sir.
What's up, man?
Hey.
How you doing? Thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me to this. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Listen, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's definitely a good thing that we get a chance to sit down and talk. Yeah, put a few things on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are the individuals that hold down Houston, right? You are the individuals that actually propagate Houston to the rest of the world. The ones who tell the story of Houston to the rest of the world. So we can't talk about Houston if we don't talk to you guys.
Man, yeah, we're trying to help. We're trying to put our stories in there,
Indeed.
our parts. So yes, definitely.
Yeah, so let's kind of get started, man. We're going to start with inspirations and get to aspirations, all right?
Okay.
So when it comes to inspirations, King, the director, where are you from originally? Were you born? Where were you raised?
I was originally born in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I was born in at an Indian hospital because I'm native Akumel Onk Odom. Federally recognized Native American tribe out of Arizona, Maricopa County,
Okay.
to be exact.
Okay.
We came here to southwest region of Oklahoma, a little bitty town, one light.
Yeah.
And we're a very close-knit family. My grandmother had like 12 kids.
Yeah.
Each of her kids had like 6 or more kids.
Oh, wow. Big family.
Big family,
Yeah.
really close. And I'm the third oldest of those grandkids. So got to see a lot of different generations, a lot of different type of things that people get into and stuff, because my family's just very diverse.
Gotcha.
My whole family is,
Gotcha.
from the thinking process to the way we dress to our skin color.
There you
we're,
go.
We're
Yeah.
diverse people. So, yeah, we're Oklahoma. I'd say Oklahoma, Texas borderline is where I kind of my stomping grounds in my youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Native American, right? Of course, there's a mix in there with African.
Yeah,
and,
Black American, my father, and
Black
stuff
American.
like that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, which culture was the most prominent at home? Was it the Native American culture, the African culture? How did it work?
It was interesting because, of course, Arizona, it was more concentrated with Native American. And Oklahoma, we had more of our black side of our family.
Got you.
Because of my father's side and my grandfather's side and everything. So we were raised, I like to say we were raised like Southern black, Baptist type of thing.
Okay.
Just South.
Yeah.
That's how we were raised.
There
But
you go.
we still had our close-knit traditions of Native American of like my aunts and uncles were really like my brothers and sisters. They were just an extension
Of your
my main
immediate family.
Yeah,
Right.
They were. So
Yeah.
we were really close like that, and just some of our traditions that we would do, and some of the languages that we would get to hear every now and then, even though it was like a dying language because not a lot of us were speaking it. My grandmother was the main one who spoke it.
Okay.
And so once she got over here to Oklahoma and Texas, it kind of like just English kind of took over,
Got you.
that kind of
Got
thing.
you. But so the specific dialect though was still present there. You were still sort of introduced to it.
Yes.
You
So
still
the-
remember a few words of it?
Man, no, I wish I did.
Thank you. Hello.
None
Thank
of
you.
that stuff,
None-
man. None of that stuff, man. I totally was
forget.
just. I was a traveling kid because
Yeah.
I never been to the same school twice. Never.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
We moved
So
around a lot.
oh man. Okay. So what schools do you think you remember, and which ones do you think that sort of influenced you into becoming who you are today?
Matter of fact, I remember all of them because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being the new kid at
Got
the
you.
school because
Yeah.
it was, it gave you the attention.
Right.
The girls wanted to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? All the dudes thought you was cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember all of them. I think my most significant one was probably my most horrible one. Was probably like 7th grade.
Okay.
I went to 4 different 7th grades
Oh,
in
wow.
1 year. So
Wow.
I failed the 7th grade.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
So you changed school 4 times?
4 times in
Goodness
1 year.
gracious. Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was a bad kid.
Got you.
Nothing like that.
Yeah,
it was
just, I mean, if you change in school 4 times, that's
yeah.
yeah.
My mom was moving and shaking. She was getting
Got
good
you.
jobs.
Yeah.
So she was changing jobs, and then also she was moving and shaking because
Right.
you know my dad and her
Right.
they were like oil and vinegar at that
Oh,
time.
got you.
You know,
So
you know
not
what I'm saying?
mixing
They
at
just
all.
weren't mixing well. So when she caught wind that he was in town,
Yeah.
boom,
Gone.
we moving, we out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
As a kid, I didn't know what it was. I thought we were just, you know, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You just go to a new school.
Yeah.
But as I got older and I had closer friends in high school and I saw their pictures and friends that they had from kindergarten, it kind of affected me a little bit where I was just like, man, I kind of want that kind of feeling too. But I still to this day never done that, got the feeling, because I went straight into the military after I got out of high school, so I started moving around.
Yeah,
you know?
so what branch of the military?
I was in Air Force combat medic, CCAT team.
All right, okay. So, hey, man, that's big stuff right there. People's lives in your hands.
Yeah.
in 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
One, you got to defend them. 2, you got to help them in case they get hurt.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that you always wanted to do, go into the military? Was there someone else already in the military before you got on?
Yeah, man. I had a military family. Like a lot of my uncles on my dad's side were in the military.
Yeah.
A couple of my uncles on my side were in the military. And then just where we grew up and how we grew up, that was one of the only other options out.
Yeah.
Clean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other than like, you know, getting into drug selling or anything crazy.
Yeah.
Especially where we come from, man. It's just like, that was a way. And then at the same time, when in high school, I actually thought I got somebody pregnant, my girlfriend at the time. Oh, man. We was going through it.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm going to be responsible.
There you go.
I'm going to the military. I'm going to get a job. Take care of my child.
No, that's the right thing to do.
So I went, you know, I'm in. She calls me or sends me a letter.
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant. I wasn't this, da-da-da. So I'm stuck in the military.
Well, which is okay. How many years did you do?
I did 4.
Okay, thank you for your service.
Hey,
though,
I
man.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah. I'm sure that there were good, valuable lessons taken out of there. Yeah. How was that experience?
Experience was amazing, and I guess the only word I could use is crazy at the same time.
Okay.
It was amazing because I did learn a lot of leadership skills. I do have a lot of long-time friends that I ain't even spoke to in over 20 years, and I know that we still could pick up our conversation.
Right.
It taught me the difference between like a worker, a thinker, and an artist.
Right.
I think that's when my artistry started kicking in.
Gotcha.
Is during then where towards the end of my military career, I couldn't see myself being a lifer because I thought I was going to be in there 20 years.
Gotcha.
You know, and retire from it.
Oh, man.
But as I got to that 3rd year, that music started kicking in. I wanted to sing. I wanted to perform. I wanted to be in front of people.
Right.
And that military just wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I figured out a way to go to school.
Okay.
And that's how I got out. It was I actually got out like 6 months early. Because I got into higher education school. And went on to school.
Yeah. Man, which is something very interesting, right? Because a lot of people, and that is a great experience, by the way, because to be honest with you, a lot of people, and especially young men today, they kind of feel like, oh, the military is bad for you. But no, it really teaches you specific skills, life skills necessary to live by, right? I mean, of course, when they breaking you in, they turning you from a civilian to a soldier, they got to break your traditional way of thinking.
Break you all the way down.
And rebuild you to
up.
think the right way, right? So if you welcome to that change, it probably does get a lot better than it is. And of course, I mean, at that point, now you think like a leader.
Yes.
Now you have a very well-built foundation. So you now thinking about higher education, right? You're coming out. Which school did you go to?
Far as
for higher education,
I started out at UTSA, and then left there and started going to a junior college.
Okay.
Just because of financial reasons and the distance.
Yeah.
To get a story, I was in the military in San Antonio.
Okay.
I would drive from San Antonio to Dallas.
Right.
And me and my brother, which he runs a basketball company, company now.
Yeah.
And
you can mention his name, and
Darrell King,
there you go.
DFW Hawks. You know, please check them out. He does a lot of great things for his community, his youth program, and all that stuff. But he was like, at the time we were young.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, "Hey, I got some friends. We're gonna do this club thing. We got some DJs. Can you help me manage it?" You know, so we went up there. I'd manage it. And we do the club thing.
Yeah.
So I was going back and forth to Dallas and San Antonio.
Okay.
So with higher education school, I started going to school in Carrollton. I wasn't realizing how much traffic there was because I've been in San Antonio this long. I didn't know Dallas had grown. It just blew up.
Right.
So that was like a stress on me driving back and forth. So I ended up leaving that bigger school and going to a junior college. And then after that junior college, got involved with music, started being in studios, and then I left and came to Houston.
Yeah.
So that's when I had stopped school for like at least maybe 6 years, I guess. I just got out of school.
Yeah. So let's. I mean, you have spoken about. You mentioned music a few times. So let's go ahead and go into some of the content that you actually do. So let's take our first break and take a look at what is it the Director King has got out there for the audiences. For those of you that just joined us, you're now tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight, and our guest today is Director King from Houston, Texas. Yes, let's check it out.
Discussing your fire, I stand in the back room, my back's against the wall. Guilty and conscious, it's tearing you up inside. It burns, don't you let it consume you. Discussing your fire, I stand in the back room, my back's against the wall. Guilty and conscious, it's tearing you up inside. It burns, don't you let it consume you. I gotta get out, I gotta get out, I gotta get out, I gotta get out.
We are back. If you just joined us, you're now tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight, and our guest today is Director King from Houston, Texas. Yes, representing the HOUTX H-Town. King.
Yes, sir.
You entered the music industry as a rapper, as an engineer, as a producer. What exactly is your point of entry?
Oh, man, I wish I could have came in as a rapper.
Yeah. What was your desire?
I decided I came here as a singer. And
okay, R&B or pop?
I want to say rock, man.
Rock. Okay.
Yeah, rock.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was. I have an R&B, vocal background, but once I got here, I was already full-fledged into the rock scene.
Yeah.
And took me about a year to kind of get a band going up here and get with some guys.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I was over at Music World Music and just doing like background vocals and helping out a couple of musicians that were there.
Yeah.
And this other musician named Ramon Wakefield, probably one of the most, still to this day, probably one of the most genius producers, musicians that I met. He's from Kingston, Jamaica.
Okay.
His family here, and I met him at Guitar Center years ago, and we started that band Peekaboo Theory, and we wrote 3 songs together, and more than 3 songs, but our beginning meeting we wrote that, and that's how everything kind of started down here. You know what I mean?
So rock music, and let's kind of look at that. I mean, I assume that you are a what's your generation? You're a Gen X?
Gen X, 77.
Yeah, so Gen X. Okay, so as a Gen X, I mean, hip-hop at this point is peaking also.
Yeah.
Right. So just as you entering the music industry, you now a rock musician.
Yeah.
What is the highest point? What is the first time that you actually hit the stage and you like, you know what? Yeah, I'm meant to do this. Or when is the first time that you hit the studio? And
I got 2 instances that let me know. I think what you're saying.
Got you.
Okay, I'll talk about the first instance. The first instance, I wasn't even on stage. I was in my mom's bedroom.
Okay.
And I was singing a Puddle of Mud song.
Okay.
That was on the radio.
Yeah.
It already went off, but I was still singing it.
Right.
My brother walks in because I was doing hooks for him on hip hop, like
Yeah.
kind of like Nate Dogg.
Got
I was
you.
the Nate Dogg of their group.
Okay.
Primetime Productions.
Yeah.
PTP. I believe Juan Playing Skills. I mean to say your real name.
Right.
Playing Skills. They produced the beat for Chameleonaire.
Okay.
See Me Rolling or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I think
it's Riding Dirty.
Riding Dirty. We
Yeah.
were all a clique, a group in school in Irving, Texas.
Yeah.
And you know, so it was just like he came in, heard me singing that song. He was like, "That's what you need to do. That's
Yeah.
what you need to do. You sound just like them. Oh my God." You
Yeah.
know. And so I was like, "All right." That was my first instance of saying,
Got you.
"Let me switch over to this."
Yeah.
And then made the band, formed the band, came to Houston, 2006-ish, 7-ish or something like that.
Yeah.
South by Southwest. We get a chance to play. We go and play. We kill it. The next year, we come back. We get a chance to play. Now we're headlining for Afropunk.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find what stage we're supposed to be on
Right.
and what venue we're in because
Right.
we were hungry, walking around Austin, 6th
Right.
Street. We finally get to our venue to play. I walk in the back.
Right.
One of my idols walks out. Quincy Jones, the
Oh.
producer.
Yeah.
He walks through
Q.
because he was helping James Spooner and
Right.
Matthew with Afropunk at that time to
Right.
push it.
Right.
He comes out. I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "You're performing?" I was like, "We came here to see you. We've been watching. You're one of the most electrifying frontmen that we've seen in the
Right.
last 20 years." That's what he said. And
This is it.
we're taking you to New York. And then we went to Brooklyn Academy of Music
Right.
and performed at Afropunk New York
Yeah.
and opened up for Janelle Monáe when she was just
Sweet.
starting.
Right.
And that's when I knew
That
we got
was it.
something.
Right.
There's something here.
Yeah. So Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
look.
big.
That's
That was big
yeah.
for me.
No. That's the ultimate. That's one of the ultimate accolades that any musician can get, man. Because I mean, this is a man that has basically done hits in just about every genre of music, either as a musician, as a producer, as an arranger. I mean, he has done it, right? He has done it.
And stepped on, and I didn't mean to step on George Clinton's crack pipe, too.
No,
That's
no,
another
it's
big
not.
moment for me, too.
No.
That was awesome. That was awesome. In New Mexico, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So you got to meet the founder of P-Funk.
I got to meet the P-Funk, the king, the man. I got to meet him, hang out with him, eat dinner, and all that stuff.
Right. 'Cause-
Yeah.
No, it's I saw him but at a distance. I never met him like officially,
Yeah.
but I saw him at a close distance, and I would tell you, man, it's amazing because from my perspective, you gotta imagine, right? This kid who's born in Africa, all of a sudden you find yourself in America, looking at these guys that used to listen, whose music you used to listen to when you were like 3-4 years old, right? And every so often look at their videos on television. And if you remember, television around that time used to show people so skinny and tall,
Yeah.
right? That when you meet them in person, you're kind of like, oh, you're not that tall, right?
Yeah, they look
But-
totally different.
Yeah, they look totally different. But I mean, but you still get that like, oh man, wow, right? This is one of the guys that definitely a good guy. As a matter of fact, I grew up in an area where his horns arranger, the horn player for them, Greg Boyer.
Okay.
Yeah, for their band, and that also did a lot of arrangements for Prince lives. Yeah, so that's in Bryan's Road, Maryland.
Wow.
Yes,
look
sir.
at this,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And talking about Bryan's Road, Maryland, let me personalize this thing a little bit
Yeah.
more. There's a King family out there. I don't know. They could be related.
Hey, we all over the place.
Because you mentioned one of your uncles as being Darrell.
Yeah, my uncle, my brother.
Your brother,
My
Darrell.
brother's name is Darrell King.
Darrell King. Now, that name, Darrell, in that family also is very prominent.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to look into that,
I
right?
might have to
yeah,
look into
yeah,
it.
yeah. Maryland, and today with DNA, it's kind of easy to figure out. And remember, the first time I met you, I looked at you and I said, "Man, you look kind of familiar."
You did say that.
I'm telling you, right now.
You did say that.
I'm telling you right now. Listen, Daryl Thomas, if you're listening to this interview, you need to holler at me so I can get you King's number, because I'm telling you, you guys need to talk and figure this thing out.
Let's go to Maury, man. Let's go to Maury.
Indeed, yeah.
Let's
You
do a
guys.
DNA test.
No, just go to the lab. You don't need to Maury this situation, man. But anyway, let's take another break, man. I know that you have some other content that you can show us, reels or anything of the stuff that you do, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's go ahead and take another break so we can take a look at some of the artwork or some of the bodies of work that King, the director, has to offer.
I will bury you underground. Dissing shoes that you must stay. Words cannot define we're over now. When you speak, they all just fade. It's a long way south. It's a long way south. How long must I wait for you to see my way? 'Cause it's my way or it's nothing.
And we are back. For those of you that just joined us, tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight with Gil Ingles, and our guest today is King, the director. Man, listen, you're now like a brother to me, because I mentioned Daryl Thomas, right, of the King family. The King family was like, they really family to me, bro. They we were really, and Daryl was like a brother to me. So now you two are brother to me.
Yes, we brothers.
And I'm making y'all brothers,
Yeah.
whether you want it or not.
Darrell King.
Darrell is his son, believe it or not. Yeah.
Darrell is his son?
Yeah, Darrell is his
Hey,
son.
yep.
So we all in the family now. Okay, this is all in the family right here. Man, what exposed you into rock music?
What exposed me into rock music?
Or what influenced you in some way?
And I gotta say, I think just the musicians that I looked up to, like the Michael Jacksons and Prince, Johnny Cash,
Oh yeah.
Van Morrison. These are the people that I actually looked up to, as in seeing their musicianship, their professionalism,
Right.
just how they affected people, And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan,
Yeah.
huge. And I felt like growing up, nobody could really categorize what he like. He was everything. He had all kind of music, had all kind of songs.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wanted to do that. And then the real inspiration, to be honest, I went to a Music Soul Child concert. At Music Soul Child concert in Dallas in Deep Ellum, CeeLo Green opened up for them.
Yeah.
And he had his band, I think Electric Sex, I think the name of the band was. When I saw this man perform, because all I knew from CeeLo Green at the time was Goody Mob and hip hop.
Yeah.
And he would sing and stuff like that. But when he sung, he rapped, he did country,
Right.
he did a love ballad, he did some poetry.
Right.
He just sat there and talked.
Straight out the box.
And then he turned around and picked up a glass and took a drink.
Yeah.
Like it was like he was in his living room.
Right.
To me, all I saw was freedom.
Indeed.
The whole time. I never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah.
So
Pure
I was like,
artistry.
that's what I want to do. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be that guy on that stage doing that.
Yeah.
And then also too, just being in rock music, I didn't see too many of us, black people that look like me.
Yeah.
And so that kid that's on the corner that want to rock,
Indeed.
that want to be that want to wear goth clothes or paint their fingernails black or whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to be that
There you
guy
go.
for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of it came from. So
No,
even when I did my songs,
Mm-hmm.
I would embody, you know, Johnny Cash.
Right.
When I would do my song, Immediate Hesitation, and I would sing that song.
Yeah.
Even though it don't sound nothing like Johnny Cash.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I would embody in my mind, you know?
Indeed. Yeah. So now you find yourself in this space in which, okay, you even got to meet Quincy Jones, right? That's the Q. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is the Q.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No Q more important than that Q right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
That's the Q.
The
And George Clinton, right? P
Mm-hmm.
Funk. So you definitely at this point peaking, and you realize that this is home. Then you get into film cinematography. How's that transition happen?
That transition happened really naturally because this was around the time when I was about to have my first child, my son Jace.
Okay.
And this was around 2008-ish, 2009 is kind of transitioning. I was thinking about going back to school just because, yes, I was a musician, but a lot of us artists, whether you're a musician, whether you're a filmmaker or engineer, or even running a radio station.
Right.
A lot of us have 9-to-5s.
Indeed.
A lot of us are looking for 9-to-5s while we're doing this artistry. A lot of us, are getting support from family members, from wives, from husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever.
Yeah.
I was in a situation where I needed to make more money. I was putting a lot of money into the band. The band was kind of crumbling at the time right there over internal issues. And then at the same time, it was like, to do a music video, to go on tour, it costs this, costs that. And so when I found out how much the music video cost, I was like, okay, let me see if I can do this myself, which I ended up writing it and doing it myself, but with the help of other filmmakers. And one of the first filmmakers who actually believed in us and took time, his name was John Hale. And he took time and curated our video and made it something. And so once I saw what that was, I was like, maybe I'll go to film school.
Yeah.
But my main goal was architectural engineering. I wanted to build skyscrapers.
Yeah.
And but then I was like, I went to the military. I always did what my mom said. I played varsity basketball. I played varsity football. I always did what people told me to do.
Right.
I want to do something I want to do.
Okay.
And still make money.
Yeah.
So I went to film school.
There you go.
And full ride paid for, scholarship, all that jazz. And went and did that. And I think the main inspiration was just understanding what my band or what my artistry needed. So that's where it came out of necessity of I needed a music video.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go learn film. And that's kind of how it happened.
No, and it is kind of, it's pretty, I guess, pretty normal around that time. Most Gen Xers that have really excelled at what they do is because they had the necessity to. There was no other way of going about it because there was no blueprint for us to follow, right? And a lot of things were becoming deregulated, and technology also was starting to come into play. So venturing into these new uncharted territories was just the way of going about it.
Yeah, not to cut y'all, but that's what's so interesting about our generation, us, is because we didn't have the social media,
right?
And then we had the social media.
Indeed.
It was just starting.
Yeah.
And we had to get out there and get in front of people. You had to go and actually go to Kinko's and print out flyers and do that. Now it's digital. You can make it on your phone. You got thousands of apps. I mean, I got a partner of mine, Lafayette Taylor, with One SoundVibe.
Yeah.
He has thousands and thousands of apps that can do thousands and thousands of things, little robots working for him, which is cool. He's like our little mini Tony Stark, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And but at the same time, I'm learning these new future ways because metaverse is coming, and there's a way for our people, black people, for us to be on top in our own and not have to have anybody's thumb on top of us.
Indeed.
And a lot of that is a personal choice. It's a personal way you see it, how you want to do it, because there's some people that do want to be validated by the others.
Right.
And there's some of us that don't need to be validated by the others.
Indeed.
And I think that's what helped me understand how I can impact my culture with my entertainment.
Right.
I like to say film, but I'm an entertainer.
Right.
I've done it all.
Creative.
Creative, yes. And I want to continue to do it all, and I want to share it. And that's what led me into teaching film and mentoring over film. It was because of these things that we are not born into.
Yeah.
Black people, we are not born into this career path of being in film. It's very expensive.
Right.
It's very fickle and
Right.
subjective and
Yes.
all of that stuff. There's no quantitative math that you could put to it to make it make sense.
Indeed.
But it makes sense.
Indeed.
If you really understand the science and psychology of filmmaking.
Yeah, indeed. And you mentioned something in your statement, which I kind of want to go back and touch into, which is the one sound vibe connection, right? Talk a little bit about the concept and how you guys are using that to empower the community.
Yeah, the One Sound Vibe Connections, One Sound Vibe Studios, the One Sound Vibe concept, you know, coming from the visionary and founder, you know, CEO Lafayette Taylor. When I met this young brother 4 years ago, I already knew there was a lot of energy behind him. He had a lot of these guys, you know, working, engineers. He had the studio going, and then this January last year, coming up on a year right now, he hit me up. Hey, I got this complex I want you to come check out. I've been telling you I'm going to do it, which he had been telling me he was going to do something. Go over there and check out this 8,500 square foot maker space for videographers, for photographers, for creatives, just to meet. And then when he said connect, create, and build his concept, I was like, that is what is needed, not just in Houston, but just needed in the entertainment, the creative black space community.
Indeed.
Because there's curation. There's a phrase that's been going around for a long time called, I'm getting the bag. I'm getting my bag. I love it because I want us to get our bag. I want black folks to get our. I want the average household of the black family to be at $160,000, $200,000 a year.
Indeed.
That's what I want.
Indeed.
And we're gonna have it.
Indeed.
But before we have that, we have to set some standards. We have to take the bar and raise it and make people jump up to us. And right now, saying that phrase, "Let me get the bag," is stifling us. Because all we care about is getting the bag at any cost. So it doesn't matter about standards. So there is a wave going on with the film thing. Tubi is killing it. Prime is doing their thing. But really, Tubi is killing it. And there's a lot of uncurated artwork that gets to put up on there, which is good because now we get to see this sea or ocean of creative works, and then we can narrow it down to kind of set some standards.
And pick the essence.
And I believe that's what the crew and myself was aiming for when we were filming HOUWOOD and Writers Camp and a lot of other content that we're going to be coming out with. That's where we are at.
Let's take another break and we'll come back because we want to continue this conversation. So for those of you tuned in, you're now tuned into Diaspora Central Spotlight, and our guest today is King. School is in session right about now, so we're gonna take a very quick break and take a look at the trailer for
HOUWOOD Series.
HOUWOOD, and watch the wordplay. Okay, that's the artistry at its peak right there. We'll be right back.
I used to run dope through here. What could possibly go wrong?
You remember that plan we talked about, bro? About growing our own strand. Well, instead of that shit just being hopes and wishes, that shit could be a possibility right now, bro.
What? Where is this? What do you mean come back? Let me go with you, Pop.
Yes, I got bands, ayy. Candy paint, leave a stain all in the rain. See my ex in the turning lane. She felt the window pane the way I'm swinging.
So you went to the event, but you got the money.
I'm swinging.
Victor better run it or keep running.
I just need to find this ugly motherfucker. And you gonna tell me where he's at.
And we are back. For those of you that just joined us, you're now tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight, and our guest today is King, the director, and he's now giving us those empowering lessons, those lessons that we need to hear, that tough love, that criticism, that true essence that I think every artist needs to get from another artist or from someone that actually cares and understands art. So, King, you were talking about creating great content.
Yes.
Creating a newer standard of content,
Yeah.
elevating the bar, right? Raising the culture, right? In other words, curating what we put out, not just do something and put it out there.
Correct.
Okay. At what point did you feel that the industry was kind of getting watered down by technology? Because technology causes that, because it gives access to tools to everyone, and everyone wants to try something, and there's nothing wrong with trying. But a lot of times what we all know is that the industry at times will even start taking watered down things and try to make them look like something that they definitely not, right? Yeah, just in order to create some sort of chaos, or maybe to, I don't know. But anyway.
All I can say is video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio. My saying that is that they thought the video TV age was in the 80s. No, the video age is now, because everyone has a TV or video in their pocket that they use every day. And so that has watered down a lot. But it's also created a lot more depthness, because there's a whole new technology we got to learn and how to use it and everything like that. But I believe the idea of, I got a camera. I got a nice Charger car, or I got a, big booty freak, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go film it. And then you film it. Cool, you filmed it. But at the same time, we're not understanding that instrument that you're using. It's just like a guitar. I could get a guitar and I could strum it all day, but I don't know how to play it. But I got to know the chords to go with it.
Right.
The chords of a guitar, the angles of a camera is the same thing as the chords of a guitar.
Indeed.
The angles of the camera tell the story. So if you don't know what a boom shot, if you don't know what a tilt or a pan or a push in or a trucking shot or a dolly shot or a bird's eye view, a worm's eye, and how to use them.
Indeed.
When you do use them, you're going to be telling 4 or 5 different stories, because your story has got a story because you wrote it.
Right.
Your actors got a story because they're speaking it. Your images got a story because we're looking at it.
Exactly.
And then when we look at it, that image is saying he's not scared, even though he has a gun in his face.
Indeed.
It takes me away from the movie. Then I start analyzing the movie. Okay, what's right? What's wrong? What's good? What makes me comfortable? Why am I worried about going to go get me a Coke right now instead of watching this movie? You want to keep people immersed, because when you watch Terminator, there's not one thing you thought about other than Terminator.
Indeed.
That's it. When you pause Terminator and you close your eyes and paused it, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a beautiful image, because that cinematographer is making sure the camera is where it needs to be, and that the lighting in the shot
scene
is appropriate for what's the scene is.
Indeed. Right. So and that's one of the new things. For instance, the trailer that we just finished looking at, which is titled
HOUWOOD.
HOUWOOD.
So it's Houston, Hollywood put together. HOUWOOD.
Yeah, HOUWOOD. And the play on words, that's why I always like to kick it to you, because it's that play on words that really comes in, and it's like you're looking at that level of work. From your peers, do you at some point kind of get a sense, did you at any point get a sense from them that they felt like you were probably doing a little too much?
Yeah. I mean, I got that a lot during school, and then a little bit in my beginning career after school. I used to do storyboards.
Okay.
That's where I had my bread and butter money when I first got out of school. I did a little filming and stuff here and there as much as I could, but mostly the storyboards is what took off.
Got you.
So when people started seeing my storyboards, instead of them being stick figures, they were looking like comic books a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And some of my peers were like, "Man, you don't have to do that much. You just draw this." I took it as like maybe they were telling me something formal.
Right.
And then when I started looking up stuff and I started seeing that these other artists were a little bit more advanced than I was, and I was like, they're being more detailed.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I got to do what I do.
Exactly.
I got to do me.
Yeah.
And I can't listen to the people that are talking, the naysayers, and I can't listen to and I can't sit here and be worried about the people who aren't talking.
Indeed.
Because that's been more that's been more the distraction in my career, is the people that I noticed that I haven't interacted with,
Right.
that I haven't talked to, people that I went to school with in film school, people that I helped, fund some of their films and things like that. And you want to get that reciprocation, that return energy back. You don't know how you're going to get it back, and I don't know how to ask you for it other than saying, hey, I got a film I'm working on, I'm going to do this.
Indeed.
And I know a lot of people are like, well, did you pay him or you this and that? I'm like, some of these gigs that we do, we are paying.
Right.
And some of these gigs that we're doing because we know this is going to pay us forward in the genre, in the
back
career,
end, exactly.
in the back end. So we're trying to work with people like that. And that's another segue, just to go back to the One Sound Vibe thing, is that's the beauty about One Sound Vibe Connections, is that we're all professionals coming together to collaborate to make a bigger project in order for us to get a bigger bag at the end of the day.
Indeed. So in a collective effort, everyone is basically a collective effort right there. Is doing a collective effort to ensure that what is presented out as being part of that, it is something that deserves the accolades and the prestige that can futuristically grant better pay for everyone involved.
Yes.
Now, give us a little bit of the backstory on HOUWOOD.
So HOUWOOD's backstory is that, like I said, I was in a band and was doing music. I got the band had broke up for several years. He had called me back.
You need to mention that band name again because
the band Peekaboo Theory, we had broke up, and we had been broke up for several years. Peekaboo Theory, and the producer of that band, Ramon Wakefield, had hit me up and said, hey, I wrote this other song, and I feel like you're the only one that could sing this song, and I want you to come through, and maybe we could talk. So that was like a make-up situation. So we went and talked, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I ended up recording at Wire Road Studios with Andy, the famous engineer, Andy Bradley. Love him to death. What's up, Andy? And we recorded this beautiful track called When You're Home. And so when I was recording the track and I'm sitting there doodling in the studio, I was like, this sounds like love, black love. I think there was a black man and black woman war thing going on at the time. I was like, I want to show black woman and that black man that we could come back together even if we break up.
Right.
We could make it work for the family.
Yeah.
So that was the concept of my idea.
Got it.
I just saw two people dancing.
Yeah.
So that's where the video came from. When I did that video, I ended up writing like a couple other characters, like a little short music video film.
Yeah.
And that ended. I ended it where it didn't really. The video didn't really end. It had like a continuation, and I just wrote.
So there was a sequel.
Yeah.
Anyone would watch it up to that point and know that there may be a sequel coming.
There's something coming.
Yeah.
Because I ended up writing HOUWOOD at the end of it to be continued. I don't even know where that came from. Me and my wife was talking about, I know she had said, Houston, Hollywood, and we were fishing things around. And so she came with this term, HOUWOOD. And I was like, I ain't heard nobody use that.
Yeah.
That does sound kind of cool. And so we started rolling with HOUWOOD, and these characters started coming to life. And this was 2019, started writing, and this is where we end up.
Yeah.
And even to have what I have right now, when I first started, this time last year, like around August last year, I was only going to shoot one scene so I could shop that scene around and try to get funding to do the whole situation.
Got you. So you were still thinking about, okay, instead of you actually just running with it, you were like, okay, let me go ahead and get this thing funded and try to figure out how to go about it.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Is like, we need the funding here in Houston because there's a lot of great projects. There's a lot of great projects, but it's just that people don't have the funding, and then when they don't have the funding, they usually take it on themselves. When they take it on themselves, that's when a lot of the problems come in, because you got to sacrifice. Something's got to be sacrificed. Something.
So from the perspective of an entertainer and a producer, do you think that there needs to be a higher level of awareness towards business owners and entrepreneurs in regards to the arts in this city?
I'm gonna say yes to that, because I'm gonna say we always need awareness to the arts for cities, because we're the ones that help create the culture here. We're the ones that help create the tourist attractions and things of that sort. We help the city move.
Right.
We help the city grow. We help the city be colorized. All the artwork that you're seeing around, that came from artists.
Yeah.
That came from somebody who sat down and thought about putting that together. But the other flip side of the coin too is that as us as being artists, as us being entrepreneurs, we need to understand our region. We need to understand where we are. We are in the middle of the country. We are in the bottom of the country. You know what I'm saying? Things do go to New York or LA first. And we've always known that. But at the same time, us as entrepreneurs, I learned this recently from a great mind that that I met, older gentleman, and he said that Houston is slow.
Yeah,
it's slow in its thinking, but they're thinking.
Yeah,
he said you can make a deal with somebody today, and they're excited,
right,
and they won't call you for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
and when they do call you, hey man, that deal's still going. What we're gonna do? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get it going.
Right.
So you got to be ready when they call.
Right.
You got to be ready to have that patience to be able to take that call. Because some people are like, man, they ain't working me right now.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing to do. I got time for them later on.
Right.
Sometimes that's not the way to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes patience really means
Indeed.
patience.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so this is the South. It is sultry down here. Like how you got on suit and tie right now and suspended. That's how I used to dress when I came down here from Dallas.
Yeah.
I came down here. That's not where they dress down here.
Right.
No.
It's kind of lax.
They doing business in t-shirts and tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? And real big business.
Right.
Real serious
Indeed.
business being done.
Yes.
Outside of suits.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. It took me about a year to learn that.
Right.
I'm still learning it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mama taught me to put a shirt on with a collar. You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just us as artists, entrepreneurs, really learning our region, really learning how we can utilize it.
Right.
And now, being that we're in the digital age, we can be in New York and LA and still be in Houston.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of helping a little bit more.
Right.
And I believe this city for this city to become why I call it HOUWOOD, Houston Hollywood, or Hollywood, is that there are things that we are going to have to try to push and facilitate. Like, let's make the nightlife last at least until 4, maybe 6 in the morning. Right. So those folks who coming from New York, those folks who coming from LA, that's used to being up, they have something to do. Right. They have somewhere to be, and we don't have to worry about them getting their heads knocked off because they want to go hang out with crazy places and crazy things happening. Right. Because we shouldn't have had that happen. Yeah. What happened to my brother Takeoff? Rest his soul. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and take another quick break and take a look at some more content. Maybe this time let's take a look at some of the stuff from One SoundVibe Connections, so that we can take a look at that space and some of the dynamic stuff that kind of happens out there, right? We'll be right back.
Don't ever again cross this line. Speak only when these lines you spell from the tales you tell. Now go run and on foot of fire. Darling, I always do like girl,
And we are back. If you just joined us, you're now tuned into Diaspora Central Spotlight, and our guest today is King, the director. Yes, the one man that is currently part of the collective One SoundVibes Connection. Now, when we talk about One SoundVibes Connection, of course, in that collective, you are the person primarily responsible for the visuals, the video, the film, and everything else.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like an ambassador over like the video production department. So I'm not necessarily the one that's going to be doing your video or anything like that. Yes. But any projects that are coming through there that we're doing video or entertainment wise, it's coming across my desk.
Indeed.
And taking a look at it, and we're analyzing it and making sure this is something that is One SoundVibe standard quality. And then me and Lafayette would take a look at it and we move forward and we build some teams. Indeed. You know, sometimes teams, they build it where we're included into it. You know what I mean? Because we're all working together.
Yeah,
you know
it's a collective.
It's a collective.
Yeah,
it's a collective. We just have to have, you know, processes and checks and balances so we can make sure we are getting things done. We're not just over there talking. Right. Because we do have a film industry meetup that happens like every third Wednesday. Right. You know, or so, and we're going to try to vamp it up more. And we got a lot of great award shows that are coming up in January. we just got word that we have a South by Southwest venue that we're going to be putting together some showcases. So we got like artist packages, we got sponsor packages, we got vendor packages for South by Southwest.
Okay, all right, which is actually then something good because people need to know that, right? And where can they go to get that information?
Well, right now everything's being formulated. That's just really coming out of my mouth from the meetings that we've been having the last 3 days. But I'm sure if you go to @1SV Connections, and you'll see all the information that I'm talking about there.
And let's now kind of hop into the future. What's up and coming for the King? What's going on?
Hopefully, well, up in future, like I said, we got the South by Southwest coming on. That's doing soon. But really, the release of HOUWOOD Series, we're actually still negotiating as far as like distribution. If we're gonna go through Film Hub or if we're gonna just go straight to Tubi.
Okay.
The reason why I say that out loud is because I want people to know about Film Hub.
Right.
I want us to know, like, you got content, and it's formulated to like a story, a beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
Put it up on Film Hub because Film Hub is like DistroKid. It's gonna distribute your product to several different platforms at once.
Yeah.
And it also has great relationships with Tubi. So if you don't want to just deal with just Tubi, you can go through Film Hub and deal with Tubi and Prime and all the other platforms. And guess what? Tubi is killing it and is doing great, and they're doing well, and they're gonna soar.
Right.
But there's like 4 or 5 other apps, platforms just like Tubi that are coming up as well. So that is what's future for us, is to get that out. And then also got a feature film named Kill Peace with Michael Anthony Jackson. Gonna be doing that with him. And then also we got Writers Camp Season 2 cranking up, which is all female Writers Camp with female engineers, female producers, female camera operators, female director, women.
Now that's revolutionary right there.
Yes. So Writers Camp, we just did our Season 1. We're in editing right now. We had Garfield Bright from the group Shy. We're literally talking about doing some other film things with that group as well to try to get them, because they're out on tour right now. If you don't know, go check them out.
And we're talking about Shy from Gasoline Alley. Gasoline Alley Shop, Washington, D.C., Howard University.
The group, the famous song, When I Fall in Love. The most auditioned, used song in auditions in the world is that song. So we had him on our first season of Writers Camp, and we're gonna get that out.
She's gotta be my friend, and if I ever fall in love with you again, I gotta make sure that there you go. That's the one. And Baby I'm Yours too. That's another one of their songs. Indeed.
You got it.
All right. No, we got to
get you on the documentary. We got to put you on the documentary.
Thank you, man. That cast me so I can talk a little something from an audience perspective.
Okay, we do. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Thank you, sir. I definitely do that, man. Now, anything else going on with you guys? With you specifically? I mean, of course, you also come from you're the head of a household of a family of entrepreneurs. You're not the only entrepreneur in the family.
No.
Okay, go ahead and plug the fam.
I am. I definitely. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The House of Jaguar is full of good stuff. We got IG Code with my wife, Tiana King, her business partner, Michelle Pack, myself with BLKJAG Films, also with Advantage Film Workshop, which is like my educational film company. So if you're on that page, it's all about education.
So not to cut you off, let's talk a little bit about education, because we actually touched a little bit on the previous segment, and we didn't quite complete. The need of good education and thorough understanding of the art form in order to deliver quality content. Okay, how much are you addressing on your education platform, on your
100%. The minute that student walks into the door, we're talking in terms of group economics. We're talking in terms of teamwork. we're using that the whole time, because the main reason why I got into film to teach it is that I was able to teach these boys from ages 10 to 17 years old, Black and Latino boys. And I also wanted to be like a mentor. So how can I do something to get in front of boys and talk to them about etiquette and being a man, and holding the door open for the young girl, and making better sound decisions, whatever that decision may be.
Indeed.
And that provided for me.
Yeah.
So the education process, it starts from the get-go, because they have to know how to go from 1 to 10 and be okay between 1 and 2.
Right.
You might get stuck between 1 and 2,
right,
but we got a plan to get you to 2.
Exactly.
So don't worry.
Yeah.
You know, we have to encourage those things.
Yeah.
And that was my main goal with the education part. So yeah, we have to start the education from the start. As soon as they walk in the classroom, the way you talk to them, the way you address them.
Right. Respect, discipline. Those are things, and I mean, I know that from your perspective, also the military reemphasized those things, and in all honesty, I think that even the U.S. Armed Forces at this point should feel proud that they have individuals that have gone through their ranks, that today are out there in the community, really empowering their communities to become better. Because
and no doubt with the military, definitely want to give them some credit's due, but I definitely want to take it back to home.
Family.
And the home training that I got from my mother.
And what is mom's name?
It helped that military reinforce what they wanted to give me. But my mother, she had already trained me what I needed to be, and that's what we need to really go back to, is like your parent at home is training you for life.
Right. And
whatever that may be.
Yeah, and what is your mother's name?
My mother's name is Roselda Swan.
All right, shout out for raising a productive young man that is adding value to society, because that is important. We sometimes fail to realize it takes individuals such as yourself that actually take their responsibility, that community responsibility upon their shoulders, and they say that, you know what, we can change this. Yeah, we don't have to be victims of whatever circumstances are. We can move beyond these circumstances. We don't have to stay stuck between 1 and 2. No, we can move through 2 all the way to 10. If our objective is going to 10, let's go on and go on to 10.
Damn right.
Yeah. Now, what can people do in order to assist or to getting involved in some of the projects that you are in?
The best things that people can do to assist is, again, get in contact with that One SoundVibe Connects. That's the best way.
Okay.
Also, hit me up in Advantage Film Workshops or on BLKJAG Films, which is all this is on IG at BLKJAG Films. Hit us up there. And we'll get it going. Send us a little message, exactly what you want to do, what you've done. If you got a headshot, send a headshot. All of those things, and we're gonna get you started somewhere. Come down.
Right. So it's a mentorship program. Is a vocational school. It's a place where you can actually grow not only as a person but also as an artist. Yeah. Now, any shout outs or anything else that you would like to bring up that we may have not touched on?
Just want to do a shout out to the One SoundVibe family. Want to do a shout out to the HOUWOOD family, all the crew. I really appreciate you guys taking your time and resources to jump in there, and some people knowing like, hey, I'm not worried about you paying me or whatever, this and that. I believe in your project. I believe in this, and I feel it, guys. I still feel it from you guys. Houston, just please go check out that trailer. Tell everybody that you know. Be proud of it. This is something for us. This is just the beginning. Again, these episodes you're gonna see are just the beginning. There's so much room for a whole bunch of other things, and all those other bigger name people out there. You want to be a part of HOUWOOD? Please hit us up, Bum B. Please hit us up, Slim Thug. All of you guys are part of it. You know what I mean? This is our series. This is our story that we get to tell. Things that happen in Houston and talk about hot topics that's going on in the media society going on and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to get it out. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I want to give a big shout out to my wife and appreciate her for all the things that you've done for me and all the things that you've done for this project to help us get this out. Everybody who's ever encountered us with the HOUWOOD process, thank you. Thank you. Oh, the CERT team over in Independence Heights with Commander John Branch. Please, you guys, go donate money to them. Go donate your time to them because they are helping the community. CERT, what is CERT? Community Emergency Response Team. That's what they are. And they are there for you. And they are all over this Metroplex city helping our law enforcement out there and first responders.
There you go. And it's all about controlling the narrative, ensuring that we are putting ourselves in a position to succeed, because at the end of the day, we got to be able to compete globally. Now, one of the things that we did not touch is the expansion of the diaspora onto the continent. But with quality content entering the continent is definitely something that can happen. And also the continent coming to the diaspora to compete globally is something that we're doing. And that's what Diaspora Central is really attempting to bridge.
Yes,
so
sir.
For all those of you that took a few hours out of your busy schedule, took a little bit of time out of your busy schedules to join us, we appreciate you doing so. And remember, if we don't do it for ourselves, no one else will. So until next time, you take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.